Hey everybody, Great Lakes 2A here. I actually want to make a video that has nothing to do with active legislation or anything that's going on in the state of Michigan, although it could be something that comes up in the future as the state of Michigan. But I mostly want to make this video to allow people to understand what could happen if Michigan were to pass an assault weapon ban or a magazine ban. And actually, I know this is going to sound absolutely freaking insane, okay? But it might actually be potentially a good thing for the nation. And you're wondering, why the hell would an assault weapon ban and a magazine ban in the state of Michigan be good for everybody in the nation? And it really boils down to one thing, and I'm going to mention a term here that probably a lot of people don't really understand when it comes to legal jargon, but what it actually boils down to is jurisdictional bubbles. And what I mean by jurisdictional bubble is that all these states that have gun control measures, especially ones that are very, very strict, are within jurisdictions of Circuit Court of Appeals that are heavily Democrat predominantly made up. So you have like the Ninth Circuit, for instance, very, 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 very Democrat leaning as far as the judge makeup on the panel. The panel is like 75% Democratic appointed judges, where in Michigan we are within the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals makes up for Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Now, as far as Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee goes, we're not going to see an assault weapon ban or magazine ban anytime in the near future there. Those states are very red compared to Michigan. Michigan is very purple. But if Michigan passes an assault weapon ban or a magazine ban, high capacity magazine ban, their words, not mine, it actually could be a good thing for the nation, because our circuit, Court of Appeals, the Sixth Circuit, is actually a 10-judge Republican makeup and a 6-judge Democrat. So we have a 4-seat advantage in the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which means that if an assault weapon or magazine ban were to pass in the state of Michigan, we actually have a really good chance of defeating it at the circuit level. And the reason why that would be a good thing is because it would create a circuit split. There would be a circuit split between like the 9th, the 1st, the 2nd Circuit Court of Appeals against the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals. And that could be a really good thing for the nation, because the Supreme Court is more likely to take up a case that is sitting before them if there's a true circuit split somewhere. And Michigan could be the one that unlocks that circuit split. Now, I am not advocating whatsoever for an assault weapon ban or a magazine ban. But if the unfortunate event of it passing through the House and Senate and then being signed by a governor, which I pray to God our next governor is not a Democrat, but if it were to be and they were to sign that into law, we have a really, really good chance in this state to actually defeat it on the circuit level. That ups our chance of it being defeated by a 3-judge panel. And then, of course, Michigan would not want to allow that to stand if we won on a 3-judge panel. And then it would open up the door to getting a full en banc panel. And that's where we still have an advantage. We have a 10-6 advantage, which could ultimately lead to creating that split. Now, I'm not saying all 10 judges that are Republican appointed on the circuit are going to be absolutely pro-gun or pro-2A, but we have wiggle room. If there's a full en banc review, and there's like 1 or 2 rhinos on that bench that say, no, I'm gonna hang out with the Dems over here, we still have a chance of having it ruled in our favor. So we really need to take a look at what could happen in the future And maybe it's not all grim. Maybe if a ban does take place, instead of us looking at it as an absolute doom, there might be light at the end of the tunnel if it does pass, because of that jurisdictional bubble that I mentioned. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys that info. I know that's not something that you would want to hear or want to happen in the state, but if it did, there's still light at the end of the tunnel, and there's still a chance that we could actually be the ones in this state that defeat assault weapon and magazine bans across the nation. And that would be a very iconic thing for this state. But I just wanted to make this video real quick just to kind of give you that food for thought, because we don't have to look at it as a complete doom if it does pass. But I don't want it to pass, and I hope to God you don't either. But I'll see you in the next one.